Well, stop me if you've heard this one before. The Bishop Foote Guest House move has been delayed once again. Crews with St. Luke's are trying to preserve the old brick house, but as 6 on Your Side's Anna Silver reports, moving a 304-ton historic home comes with complications.
By now, this historic home behind me is supposed to be on a lot on the corner of Avenue B in Bannock. Instead, it's in the middle of Jefferson Street behind St. Luke's.
Definitely seen a house move before, but I've never seen one just left in the middle of the street.
The Bishop Foote Guest House near St. Luke's in Boise was set to relocate over the weekend after movers finished construction on the dolly system. St. Luke's officials say during the process, the relocation was suspended after several mechanical issues. The house now sits in the middle of Jefferson Street behind St. Luke's.
It's not something you see every day, a house coming down the street. It's not moving right now, but you can see that it's moved a bit.
The site is definitely attracting some attention.
We thought, well, we know where it used to be. We'll go track down the house. And then my friend's like, oh, this is a wild goose chase. And then we found it in the middle of the street.
The goal for the house is to make it to its new location intact.
And what's amazing to me is not even a window has been cracked or broken, so they're definitely doing it right.
St. Luke's officials say the house was built in 1935, and it was originally at the corner of Jefferson and 2nd Streets. Boise residents say they are glad that history is being preserved.
I'm an outdoors guy, so I like seeing the outdoors preserved, and I also like seeing stuff in our history preserved. I am for preservation.
It's wonderful to preserve these parts of history, and that whole block that the Bishop's house was located on is all really beautiful houses. St. Luke's officials say that local traffic only will be able to drive on both sides of the house on Jefferson Street, and emergency vehicles are able to get through. In Boise, Anna Silver, 6 on Your Side.
Still ahead on 6 on Your Side, the Basque community took over the stage for the Boise Music Week. For the first time in more than 50 years, we will take you to their celebration of culture coming up.
And warm and dry weather is headed for the Treasure Valley, but our mountain areas will likely see some rainfall over the next few days. I'll have that coming up next.
6 on Your Side at 10 continues now.
What better way to celebrate culture than with traditional music and dance? Members of the Basque community put on a show at the Morrison Center today. It's all part of the 101st Boise Music Week, which hosts free performances throughout the City of Trees. This is only the second time the Basque community has been asked to take part. The first was in 1949. Boise Music Week events are all free to the public. They depend on donations and volunteers to keep that tradition alive. A local nonprofit helped honor Idaho children fighting cancer today by hosting a charity fun run and festival fundraiser. Boise's Got Faith helps out families both financially and spiritually who are dealing with a tragic diagnosis. The Moore family has been through a lot as their daughter Madison battles an inoperable brain tumor, but through the support of the community, the Moores tell us they still have hope.
It's just been a feeling I really can't describe. I love the people in this community, and this festival is a reason why. We're always there for each other and willing to help out when somebody's in need.
Every 9 weeks, the Moores travel to Michigan to see a specialist, and that's helped stabilize Madison's tumor. Today's event, by the way, also helped a 2-year-old who has a rare liver cancer. Well, not all heroes wear capes, and for senior and severely ill dogs in the Treasure Valley, their hero is a woman in Nampa named Kimberly. After spending 16 years caring for elderly people, she noticed it was their pets left behind who were put in a shelter or euthanized simply because they were too old or too sick. Kimberly and her family created Forever House at their Nampa home, dedicating their lives to giving a second chance to dogs who need it most here in Idaho and surrounding states. The Kunis family currently cares for almost a dozen dogs, and even after losing 3 just this month, their cause carries on.
To me, it's about the warmth of just being in their lives and being able to help them and hold them when they cross over instead of being alone.
Tomorrow morning on Good Morning Idaho, our Frankie Catifies will have much more on this animal retirement and hospice home, providing pets comfort in the Treasure Valley.
Now the On Your Side forecast.
This is a beautiful look over downtown Boise from this evening. So about an hour ago, half an hour ago or so, this was the sunset over Boise, a beautiful sunset. We're still lingering right around 70 degrees this evening. Not too bad, Boise. 78 for your high tomorrow for your Monday, and we'll continuously get colder as we drop to 73 degrees on Thursday. Can we even call that colder? 85 degrees by next week, next Sunday. Things looking pretty good. We're really warming up, and our overnight low temperatures might even break some records because our overnight lows will be fairly high for this time of year. If you're in McCall over the next couple of days, 65 will be about that high. We're going to stick in the low to mid 60s through the week in McCall. A few rain showers may be popping up in the forecast by the middle of the week, but overall a fairly dry week in McCall. Sun Valley is a bit of a different story. 65 degrees is about the high we're looking at tomorrow for your Monday. Some rainfall tomorrow evening, and then heavy rain coming into Tuesday, maybe even a bit of snow coming to Sun Valley on Tuesday. Mostly clear by Wednesday, and then warming up into the weekend. We're at 70 degrees in Sun Valley by this weekend. Warm weather just kind of sitting over Idaho, and it's going to stick around over at least the next 10 days. That's what this looks like right now. A high pressure front is just bringing those temperatures up. We don't have hardly any rain showers popping up across the state. Maybe just to the north of McCall right now, but hardly any cloud cover. That's a look at the cloud cover that we're seeing, and we're not seeing anything. Outside is going to be your favorite place to be this week. Monday, your forecast as you head out the door, hardly a cloud in the sky. Some showers popping up tomorrow evening if you're in the east central mountains, and maybe if you're in the Magic Valley, a few spotty showers, but the majority of that rainfall is going to come on Tuesday. That white and pink there, that's where you start to see that snow creeping into the forecast, but the majority of it will be about a quarter of an inch of rain is what we'll expect in the east central mountains. You can see here though the Treasure Valley looking completely dry, maybe a few spotty showers in the Magic Valley by Tuesday evening, early Wednesday morning, but overall mostly dry. McCall starting to see some showers by the midweek, very lightly. Wind speeds though will start to pick up by tomorrow evening, and that's what you'll see here. So we'll be up near 15 miles per hour for our wind speeds Monday evening, and then some gusty winds coming into the forecast going into Tuesday, up near 20 miles per hour by Tuesday evening. Mostly clearing out for your Wednesday. Overall, not looking too bad for the middle of your week. As far as tomorrow goes, in the Treasure Valley, 82 degrees, about that high in Vail. Tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 70s, even into the low 80s through parts of the Treasure Valley. Sunny with some very light winds, 78 degrees, about that high in Kuna. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s through much of the west central mountains. Sunny and very pleasant in the west central mountains tomorrow. 77 in Riggins, 65 in McCall, 66 in Cascade. Your east central mountain forecast sunny and a bit breezy with a few showers creeping into the forecast tomorrow evening, but your day is looking dry. 62 about that high in Stanley tomorrow. Mid to upper 70s across the Magic Valley. 77 in Gooding, mostly sunny, just a very light breeze. 73 in Burley tomorrow. Your extended forecast up near 80 tomorrow. Maybe we'll break that benchmark in places like Weiser and Ontario. We definitely will. 76 that high for your Tuesday, a bit breezy. Truly is the worst part of our forecast. I said it yesterday. It's just going to be slightly breezy, maybe a bit gusty on Tuesday. 76. And then how cold does Thursday look, man? 73.
Keep the sweaters around,
Yeah.
but then the sandals and the shorts for the weekend.
Bring them out.
Yeah, you got to love Idaho weather. You mentioned a chance of snow, and then other places 85 degrees.
Yeah, I know. Go lay by the pool, people.
Yeah, it's a good week ahead. Thank you, McKenna. Well, the Boise Fire Department is trying to figure out if they'll be able to repair that boat that got stuck under a bridge during a training exercise earlier this week, or if it will need to be replaced. As 6 on Your Side reported, the fire department had to rescue 3 of their own members under the Broadway Bridge when the training exercise turned into a real-life rescue. Chief Roberts tells us while they wait on the status of that boat, the department will be reverting back to their most common way of performing rescues. With the Boise River running fast and high, the fire department advises people to steer clear. Boise City Code states anyone who needs to be rescued could be held responsible for covering the costs. Still ahead on 6 on Your Side.
There's a lot to live up to.
More than 1,000 airmen witnessed the beginning of a new era today. We'll take you to the change of command's military ceremony coming up.
6 on Your Side at 10 continues now.
The Idaho Air National Guard's 124th Fighter Wing has a new commander. Colonel Shannon Smith will be taking over for Colonel Tim Donnellan as the 124th enters a new era. 6 on Your Side, Steve Dent went to the time-honored military ceremony today, known as the change of commands.
It's truly special that we take that time to formally exchange the command for the airmen to see that exchange of the guidon.
A ceremony to symbolize the change of command for the 124th Fighter Wing. as more than 1,000 airmen witness the end of an era.
It's been absolutely amazing. Probably the most humbling, intense, and amazing professional experience I've had in 27 years in the military. What these men and women do with the 124th Fighter Wing every day, both here in the state of Idaho and deployed overseas in combat operations, is truly awe-inspiring.
Colonel Tim Donnellan relinquishes command of the 124th after he led the fighter wing for 4 years.
And every day we talk about how do we get it right for every single airman in the wing.
Colonel Shannon Smith will take over command of the 124th, and he looks forward to carrying on the prestigious tradition of the fighter wing.
Our fighter wing has a long history to include the Air National Guard since 1946, so there's a lot to live up to.
Busy times lay ahead for the 124th, as this summer they will go to the National Training Center at Fort Irwin before embarking on their largest deployment in the spring of 2020.
We will continue our mission supporting the federal mission to fight and win our nation's wars, and then we will always be Idaho Guardsmen.
And representing Idaho is an honor that both leaders have in common.
Idaho has got a phenomenal reputation just as a great community, but especially with our military communities.
Steve Dent, 6 on your side.
Colonel Donnellan has been selected to serve as the Idaho Air National Guard Chief of Staff within the Idaho Military Division. Well, President Trump signed an executive order recently aimed at ending the national tragedy of veteran suicide.